All right, so you said in the song, you waited, you told her you were gonna do it on your terms when you were ready. You do the song, you drop it. At this point, though, like, I mean, so that reignites everything. Because I remember y'all were going back and forth. Your whole thing was you felt like you just doing this because you want my platform, you want the attention. I'm gonna give it to you, and then I'm done with it. This reignites it all. Like, why even address her again on the album?
Because you mentioned my kids trying to be cute. There's gonna be times that like people throw shots at you, or like there's gonna be diss, like, you know, like when she did her little diss and it was trash. Like, it's like it could have been trash. People dragged you, and I could leave it at that. But it's like everything on social media is gonna be seen. So when my kids grow up one day and they see that you mentioned them, and then they're gonna ask me like, so what you said, what you did? I'm not gonna tell my kids like, you know, I just felt like she took the high road because she lost because people wasn't on her side. No, I'm not saying that to my kids. I'm like, you see how I violated it.
Spill Zone back in the building. Cardi B finally dropped her brand new album, Am I the Drama? Yesterday, after keeping the world waiting a wild 7 years since her debut shook the game.
The pros and cons of Cardi B new album, Am I the Drama? I'm gonna start off with the pros. First of all, the rollout, actually, I love the rollout. Every day you was posting something, it was something new coming out. Basically, this has been a Cardi B week, I ain't gonna lie. Secondly, I love the nostalgic vibes of Invasion of Privacy, like a little bit of Drap, a little bit of Feelings, but it still felt new and up to date in certain ways. That was cute, Cardi. Thirdly, I love when she do songs that got an R&B artist doing the chorus and she doing the rapping part, like the one with her and Kehlani, Safe. I love that. To me, that's the best song on the album. Top 3 at least. And of course, we love the drama. You ate up on the rap beats, Cardi. Now, the cons is only one big con for me. I just feel like we just should never waited 7 years for that. I feel like that would have been just cute, released 2 years ago.
And let me tell you, this project is stacked. 23 tracks deep with surprise features from Summer Walker, Selena Gomez, Kehlani, Lizzo, and even the legendary Janet Jackson sliding in.
Me personally, when I listen to Cardi B album, it kind of give me like shock value listening. Like, you know, like when you hear something for the first time, you'd be like, oh, why would they say that? But it's like that one time is the one time you're gonna feel that way. Like, as far as like, I'll go back and listen to Magnet a couple times over and over. It's like, when I first heard it, it's like, okay, damn, you really said that shit. But it's like after a while, you're like, that's it. Like, and then like when it came down to Bia, it's like, I ain't gonna lie, I'll be dead too. But it's like, you really brought that beef back out of the woodworks when really, honestly, nobody was thinking about her. You made us think about her again. That's what I'm like, it's kind of like this moment was like a little bit of spite. Now, granted, you know, the song's about Offset. Those can run free. But I'm like, it's come down to the other parts, just like, it's just like a lot of energy was just put towards like old beef and stuff like that. Like, if this was a normal person, we would pretty much be like, you're still on that? Like, you're still going back and forth with these bitches all this time. I'm just personally trying to figure out how is this going to transfer into an arena performance. Like, as far as having songs that you can like dance to and like have a choreography to, I'm trying to like really grasp like what songs are actually going to have like a stage presence, if you know what I mean. All I have to say is though, just don't take 7 years again.
Fans been starving for this music, and when it finally hit, boom, it went platinum in under 24 hours. Yes, you heard that right, less than a single day, and Cardi's already breaking records like it's nothing. Before you start thinking it's all sunshine and roses, let's be real. People are heated about this rollout. The album, Am I the Drama? Got certified platinum basically the same day it dropped, and that raised a whole lot of eyebrows.
Now, Cardi, why would you go and tell us name 5 Bill songs? Listen, technically she wasn't lying, okay? Because I don't know not damn Bill song. The only Bill song I know is by Lil Jon and the East Side Crew. Now that I listened to Cardi's album in its entirety, y'all, I'm not playing. Cardi went in that studio and snapped for real. Like, every feature that she had on there did they thing. Like Lizzo, she had her Jennifer Hudson going on, but she sounded real good. Selena Gomez, the way Selena and Cardi complimented each other on the album, 10 out of 10. The only negative thing I can say about the album is when it came to the Janet Jackson feature, it was a sample, okay? So technically was it a feature, but other than that, I really enjoyed this album. And it's like no skips. Like, do you know how hard of an album it has to be to have 23 songs and you can just listen to it and not skip any one? Like, Cardi did this, okay? And Cardi, if you see this video and when you come to my city for the tour, we should link up, okay? Let's make that happen. I'm gonna keep saying that until it happens. Like, me and Cardi, we gonna link up.
Normally, going platinum is a grind. It takes weeks, months, sometimes even years of steady streams, radio play, and cultural momentum. But hours, literally hours after release, that had fans, critics, and even other rappers side-eyeing the situation like, nah, something ain't adding up here.
Cardi B has dropped her long-awaited album, Am I the Drama? It's been around 8 years since she dropped Invasion of Privacy, and I just listened to Am I the Drama? And I'm gonna give you my honest review and how I feel about the album. When I first heard Invasion of Privacy, I remember I was playing that joint in my car and I was just vibing from the first track to the last. It had like a bunch of rappers in there. We also had the inclusion of the Migos. Obviously, we don't have that on this album. This album doesn't have a lot of rap features. When I looked at the features for this album, I seen a lot of like, it's heavily driven on female songwriters, female singers. It has Kehlani, it has Lizzo. So, and it has Summer Walker, who actually shows up multiple times on this album. For the most part, Cardi soloed this album herself, which was surprising to see, but it was amazing because I think she did an amazing job on this album. even with the features and the female songwriters that's featured on this album is hard. Cardi went off on this album. This album, this is Cardi's testament to her pain and everything that she's been through throughout the years. You definitely have a lot of, conversations, that she's having towards her baby father, Offset. So you're definitely gonna hear her saying things about that. But for the most part, this is a rap album. The singles that she put out, Outside and Imaginary Players, was just a slicing on the cake compared to what is on this album. Bodega Baddies is gonna go crazy on TikTok. My only issue with that song is that it's too short. I wish it was longer. I really wish it was. My favorite song just so happens to be a song she has on there with Lizzo because it has a sample that I love. And when you hear the song, you'll know why. She also has a song on there called Pretty and Petty where she's responding to Bia's diss track. And if I was Bia, honestly, I would go somewhere and just hide and hope that it don't rain tomorrow because she cooked the hell out of Bia. I give this album, honestly, a 10 out of 10. This album did something for me that only certain albums can do. And it left me with a bunch of different emotions from everything that Cardi was discussing, and the delivery and how she put it out. It was just crazy. It's like amazing to listen to, and it was amazing to hear. I didn't know what I expected from this album, but it gave me everything that I wanted from this album. And I think this album is going to be...
So how did this miracle happen? 2 words, W-A-P and up. Cardi pulled a slick move and slid both of these monster singles onto her new project. We're talking about songs that already had billions of streams, had already broken records, and already had the culture on lock years ago.
As somebody who has listened to majority of the Cardi B album, let me just say this. Is Cardi Beatrice? You know what I'm saying? Like, we shouldn't be expecting this hard, grungy rap. Like, it's not about to be the best bars of the year. We know that. With that said, Salute, amazing song. The song with Kehlani, amazing song. Bodega Baddie, amazing song. Pretty Petty, whatever called, the shot against Bia, amazing. Love it for what it's worth. I feel like Cardi B had those fun, turned up songs a little bit, shaking down, typical Cardi B. She had a breakup song, shout. If you going through it, you're gonna love it. I don't really want to hear sad Cardi going on a journey. That's just not me, because that's not what I know her for. And then she had, some stuff that you could tell is like more radio play-ish, like mall kind of friendly music. She's dibbling in multiple genres. Was it cohesive? Hell fucking no. Was it telling a story on like a journey? Hell fucking no. But I'm not listening to Cardi B for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not an artist I would go to for that kind of music. So when y'all throwing her in this like harsh, rap category, she gotta be the hardest rap, bro. Yeah. I don't think she's ever claimed to be. Or you know what? Maybe she has. But I will say, this album is nothing more than the shit we've gotten from Cardi B before. Like, no shit. Like, it was what I expected. I didn't expect too much. And I really did appreciate a lot of the beats. I love the beats. Whoever her producer was, I did appreciate some of the lyrics, the plays on words, and the things she would say. It was a little shot grabby, especially in Pretty Petty, whatever that shit is called. Like, I don't know. She kind of snapped with that. But I feel like this was standard Cardi Beatrice. Like, I'm not expecting more. No more or less, okay?
By including them, those numbers instantly got folded into the album's sales tally, pushing Am I the Drama straight into platinum status before fans even had time to finish listening to all 23 tracks. And while some see it as a business genius play, others are furious, calling it a sneaky shortcut and claiming Cardi gamed the system. Social media blew up with debates. Some folks saying she earned it fair and square, others saying it's the kind of move that makes an album look more like a numbers trick than a cultural moment. The drama behind this strategy might just be louder than the music itself. Now let's break down the receipts, because this is where the numbers get wild. WAP first dropped in 2020, and to this day, it's sitting pretty at 9 times platinum. That's not just a hit, that's a cultural earthquake. Then came up in 2021, and boom, it soared to 5 times platinum. Both singles didn't just chart, they conquered the game, hitting #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and cementing Cardi's dominance during those years. Here's the twist. When you take songs that already racked up millions upon millions of sales and streams, then slide them onto a fresh album, all those previous units suddenly count toward the new project's total. So by the time Am I the Drama officially dropped, it wasn't starting from scratch. It was starting with a mountain of numbers already locked in. That's how you end up with this so-called instant platinum status. And now, the culture is split down the middle. Some are calling it pure strategy, applauding Cardi for knowing how to work the system better than anybody else. But others are saying it feels shady, like she didn't really earn that day 1 platinum because the songs weren't new. The debate is messy. Fans are either celebrating her as a marketing genius or dragging her for recycling old hits just to flex a plaque. This is where the drama really heats up, because it isn't just about the music anymore, it's about credibility. Some fans are hyped beyond belief, celebrating it with all the energy, dropping comments like, "Yes, ma'am, you did your big one." They see Cardi's move as smart business and proof that she knows how to keep her numbers towering above the competition. But not everyone is clapping. Critics are dragging the decision, saying it feels like a loophole, a sneaky shortcut to inflate success. They've been calling it a straight-up cheat code to boost numbers and make the album appear more dominant than it really is. To them, it's smoke and mirrors, not the organic grind of a brand new project climbing the charts on its own legs. But here's where it gets even spicier. Cardi already saw this storm brewing months ago. Back in June, she hopped on Twitter to address the whispers before the album even dropped. She explained that WAP and Up are her two biggest records to date, and her fans had been begging her to include them on the new album. From her perspective, she was giving her supporters what they wanted, tying together her biggest cultural moments with her latest work. Still, that explanation didn't quiet the noise. Some folks felt she was just justifying a move she knew would bring her heat, while others argued it was proof she's tuned into her fan base and not afraid to give them what they asked for. It's a split between genius marketing and chart manipulation, and the arguments only got louder once the album went platinum overnight. Cardi explained that her fans constantly search for WAP and Up and had been asking for them to finally have a home on one complete body of work. She said the records deserve to live on this album, not just as random singles floating around in her catalog. And to clear up some of the criticism, she pointed out something important. Those older songs don't even count toward her first week sales. In other words, she argued, people shouldn't be mad because the album's debut performance is still being measured fairly. But here's the twist. That explanation hasn't stopped the debate one bit. Some people are nodding their heads, saying it's a smart business move that shows she understands the industry better than most. After all, what's wrong with maximizing her wins and giving her fans what they've been begging for? But others see it differently, claiming the decision reeks of desperation. To them, it looks like she leaned on her past success instead of trusting the new music to stand on its own. This split reaction has turned into its own storyline. On one side, you've got folks praising Cardi as a savvy businesswoman who knows how to outplay the system. On the other, you've got critics saying it makes her look insecure, like she doesn't believe her new material could carry the album without help. And that smart versus desperate label, it's sticking hard in the conversations all over social media. One thing that really stands out is that Cardi now joins Lady Gaga as one of the only artists to have a 2025 album certified platinum this early. That's a rare club to be in, and it shows just how much weight her name still carries in the industry. But here's the thing, it's not just the plaque people are talking about. The album itself has become one giant conversation piece. Some listeners are hyping it up, praising Cardi for delivering a long track list packed with features and energy. But then there's the other side, and they're not holding back at all. Plenty of critics and even some of her own fans are dragging the project, saying it doesn't feel fresh. The biggest complaint circling online is that, "Am I the drama?" sounds dated, like it could have been released 3 or 4 years ago. In an era where rap and pop are evolving fast, with new sounds popping up almost every month, that's a brutal critique. People are saying she stuck to the same formula from her debut, and while it worked back then, it doesn't hit the same in 2025. This split is wild. On one hand, she's breaking records and making history, but on the other, fans are questioning if she's keeping up with the times. And in music, once people start labeling your sound dated, it's hard to shake that off. Her recent singles like Outside and Imaginary Plays didn't exactly dominate the way people thought they would. Sure, Outside managed to climb to number 10 on the Billboard charts, which is still impressive, but when you're Cardi B, the expectations are way higher. Fans and industry heads were looking for a #1 smash, and when it didn't happen, the whispers started. People began asking that brutal question. Does Cardi still have it? Is the magic from Invasion of Privacy fading, or is she just in a different lane now? But let's keep it real. The chart performance isn't even the biggest headline right now. What really has everybody talking isn't the numbers, it's the drama baked into this album rollout. From feature choices to subliminals that fans swear are aimed at rivals, the conversation shifted quick from, is this a hit, to who is she throwing shots at? And once that switch happened, the internet went into overdrive. People aren't just debating if Cardi can still dominate the charts. They're dissecting lyrics, digging through interviews, and stirring up old beefs to figure out the real stories behind the songs. It's almost like the music became the background and the drama became the main event. And honestly, that might have been the plan all along, because controversy always sells louder than a chart position ever could. Cardi didn't hold back when it came to Bia. On the track, Pretty and Petty, she went straight for the jugular. And baby, when I tell you, she ate. The bars were sharp, the tone was cold, and the delivery made it clear. This wasn't just music, this was a statement. Cardi made sure everybody knew exactly who she was talking about, and she didn't sugarcoat a thing. She ate Bia up from start to finish, leaving no room for confusion. Now, for anyone who's not fully tapped into the backstory, let's rewind. The tension between Cardi and Bia has been brewing for a while. It all kicked off when Bia claimed Cardi was jacking her style. Everything from the fashion and the flow to the attitude in her music. Bia felt like Cardi was watching her every move and then flipping it into her own image, basically turning her swag into a mainstream version. And for Bia, that was disrespectful on every level. Fans noticed it too, fueling the flames by constantly comparing their looks, their hooks, even their stage presence. Social media only made it worse, with Bia throwing slick likes and Cardi throwing subs right back. By the time Pretty and Petty dropped, the beef wasn't just rumor, it was reality stamped on wax. And the way Cardi went in, it wasn't playful, it wasn't subtle. It was war in the booth, and she wanted the world to hear it loud and clear. The beef didn't just stay on wax, it spilled straight onto social media. Bia called Cardi out on Twitter, accusing her of stealing and throwing subliminals, while Cardi clapped back by denying all of it, saying she wasn't even worried about Bia in the slightest. But that didn't cool things down. In fact, it poured gasoline on the fire. Things really took a sharp turn when Bia tried to hit below the belt by claiming Cardi was cheating on Offset. That accusation had the blogs going crazy and made the situation 10 times more personal. From that moment on, it wasn't just petty jabs, it was officially up. Bia then dropped a diss track, lacing it with sharp bars aimed straight at Cardi. The internet ate it up, waiting to see if Cardi would swing back. And for the longest time, she didn't. She stayed silent, letting Bia get her shots off without giving her the satisfaction of a quick response. But silence doesn't mean weakness, it means strategy. Fast forward to now, Cardi finally broke that silence, and she revealed on The Breakfast Club why she chose this moment to unload. According to her, the line that crossed the line was Bia bringing up her kids in the diss. For Cardi, that was non-negotiable. You can talk about her, you can talk about her career, but the second you drag her children into the mix, gloves are off. That's when she felt like she had no choice but to respond. And that's what gave birth to the ruthless verses on Pretty and Petty. Cardi didn't stop at Bia. Listeners swear she also slipped in some slick shots aimed at JT from the City Girls and even Ice Spice. The subs weren't super obvious, but fans are dissecting every line, convinced that Cardi's pen was busy addressing more than one rival. Add to that the raw, emotional tracks that clearly touch on her rocky divorce from Offset, and you've got an album that's as personal as it is petty. The title, Am I the Drama, doesn't just fit. It feels like Cardi's owning the chaos, leaning into it, and daring people to question her. But while the drama is keeping the blogs buzzing, the numbers are the part everyone's watching closely. Early industry predictions say the project might sell under 200,000 units in its first week, and that's counting just the new material, not the added weight of WAP and Up. For an artist of Cardi's stature, that's a critical number. It's solid, but not the blockbuster sales some expected after 7 years of waiting. And this is where the tension lies. If the predictions hold true, it'll raise questions. Is the drama overshadowing the music? Is the controversy helping her career, or slowly eating away at the hype she built? Some say she doesn't need huge sales because her cultural impact is undeniable. Others argue the industry has shifted, and Cardi may be fighting to prove she still holds the same weight she did in 2018. But at the end of the day, we're all waiting on those official numbers to really see how these songs perform on the album itself. Predictions are one thing, but the charts don't lie. And once they lock in, we'll know just how much of that platinum buzz came from old hits versus brand new fire. Cardi isn't the first artist to recycle previous successes onto a new project. It's actually a strategy plenty of big names have pulled before. But let's be real, doing it with tracks as massive as WAP and Up, that hits different because those songs weren't just popular, they were cultural tsunamis. Putting them on this album makes the move stand out in a way people can't ignore. And this is where the debate really splits the culture in two. On one side, fans are defending Cardi with passion, saying this is just business. Why wouldn't she add her biggest records to the track list? They argue that she's solidifying her legacy, making sure her catalog reflects the true weight of her hits. They see it as nothing more than a smart chess move from an artist who knows how to play the industry like a game. On the other side, critics are side-eyeing hard. They claim this feels like manipulating the numbers, a way of padding the stats to make the new album look stronger than it might actually be. Some even go as far as to say it cheapens the accomplishment, because instead of letting the fresh material speak for itself, it leans on the success of older records. For them, it blurs the line between genuine impact and clever accounting. So here's the million-dollar question. Do you see Cardi's decision as brilliant strategy or straight up cheating the stats? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I want to know where you stand on this. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss the next wild chapter in this saga. Trust me, more drama is on the way, and you already know Spill Zone is going to bring you the receipts. See you on the next one. Them on this album makes the move stand out in a way people can't ignore. And this is where the debate really splits the culture in two. On one side, Fans are defending Cardi with passion, saying this is just business. Why wouldn't she add her biggest records to the track list? They argue that she's solidifying her legacy, making sure her catalog reflects the true weight of her hits. They see it as nothing more than a smart chess move from an artist who knows how to play the industry like a game. On the other side, critics are side-eyeing hard. They claim this feels like manipulating the numbers, a way of padding the stats to make the new album look stronger than it might actually be. Some even go as far as to say it cheapens the accomplishment, because instead of letting the fresh material speak for itself, it leans on the success of older records. For them, it blurs the line between genuine impact and clever accounting. So here's the million-dollar question. Do you see Cardi's decision as brilliant strategy or straight up cheating the stats? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I want to know where you stand on this. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss the next wild chapter in this saga. Trust me, more drama is on the way, and you already know Spill Zone is going to bring you the receipts. See you on the next one.